Borralho is very technical. We had already said that. He's a really tricky guy to get past because he's switching stances, karate stance, looking for the takedown. But AJ, it's kind of weird. We go through the whole entire fight and 0 for 1 on takedowns, and you win a unanimous decision. So Caio Borralho is not just this takedown artist. He's not a lay and pray guy, right? He fought one of the, on paper, best strikers that we have to offer, and he outstruck him 70-39. What does that say to you about Caio Borralho? We said stop sleeping on him, but I mean, you have to wake up for real now. What do you think?
You absolutely have to wake up, folks. We were saying it in the pre-show. I hope you're paying attention. Caio Borralho has started to learn how to use his hands very, very well. And what I liked about him in this fight, he opened up switching stances, man, and fluid at it too, not knowing which way was going to be the best for Abus to actually defend. And what I liked, man, I was literally shouting it out. Throw that jab, step off the line, and come over with the cross. And then you see him start to implement that exact game, man, throwing the jab, stepping off, throwing the jab, stepping off. It looked really, really good. And I liked the fact that Borralho was seeing things and putting them into action whenever he would see those holes open up. Man, he looked good. And then what I liked also, going into the third round, he was able to get the takedown, or not get the takedown, but secure at least a ground position against Abus and make this fight go in his direction. I have nothing big to take away from Borralho, maybe besides he put himself in a little bit of danger at some points, but that's his style, man. This is exactly what it is. And I love the mic time as well. Don't know if he'll get DDP, but I love the fact that he's taking shots out there. Derek, what was your big takeaways from this fight?
I'm glad you called that out. I was going to talk about that. He did call out DDP, Dricus du Plessis. Not sure if that's a realistic call out for where he is at in this game, but then he called for the belt after. He said, I'm going to beat du Plessis and give me my belt. Whew. I thought this was interesting, though. As I mentioned, I think a couple things played into this. I think partially Abu Magomedov is coming off of that trauma of, what do we always say is the worst thing that can happen to you in a fight? It's not that you get beat up. It's that you get tired and then you have no ability to defend yourself, right? So when you gas yourself out in the last one, you got beat up by Strickland. Okay, let me pump the brakes a little bit. And it felt like he never really got going, right? So couple that together with you got a dude in front of you switching stances back and forth. I'm waiting for a takedown. The takedown never comes. I'm getting hit with crosses. I just felt like this was a perfect, I don't even know the wording to say right here, but everything just kind of came together perfectly for Caio Borralho to just really pick apart Abus Magomedov. And it makes me wonder now, what is Magomedov's role in this division? He came in super hyped up, and now you drop these two fights, and I just don't know where we go with him. But I do know for Caio Borralho that one thing that is a sure lock for him winning fights is going to be the same thing that prevents him from ever getting that title shot. You're fun on the mic. You got to be fun in the cage too, though, brother. I mean, can he secure a title shot with this fight style, realistically?
I don't think so, Derek, especially once it gets to the fourth and the fifth and having people excited to watch Caio Borralho's fights. Yeah, we're saying don't sleep on him, folks. He's becoming less of a cringy fighter and more of a stud in there, but he also needs to have the studly performances where he's knocking people out, having the show stopping ones, and then taking control of the mic and really getting right there. Everybody's happy when you're barking, but really people want to see eating in there in the cage, and I think that's the next step for Caio Borralho. But as far as Abus Magomedov, where does he go? This is a hard one, Derek, because I don't want to see him fall into that land of where we don't really see him fight too much. And then he start kind of losing, he becomes obscure in the MMA scene. He has a lot of really good skills, but where does the mentality go after this one? Because I think that's what kind of hurt him most in both the Strickland fight and this one going forward.
Yeah. I mean, think about it, man. He knocks out Dustin Stoltzfus, and then, you get Sean Strickland and Caio Borralho. So it's not quite like it was. It was just a really quick jump in competition. Maybe he should have been fighting more guys on the Dustin Stoltzfus type level. But the last thing that I wanted to mention here is this kind of plays into what I was saying about you got to be entertaining and all that. In the end of the fight, so my prop lock, right, decision, Caio Borralho, I thought at the end of the fight, that was about to be broken, and Borralho was going to submit him or knock him out, right? But the fact that he decided, I'm going to opt to take it back. I'm going to put a seatbelt on. So, you just cross over and under on the arm, seatbelt, and I'm just going to talk into your ear for the last 45 seconds of the fight. Instead of trying to dismantle you and get the finish and get a finish bonus or anything like that, performance bonus. That was the thing this is the politics. This is the business aspect of it. This is not the fight game, right? That point said, okay, thank you for getting my prop lock, but this is not going to be good, bro. You cannot just hang out in the last 45 minute of the fight and just hang out with your opponent and be like, yeah, I won, good sportsmanship, right? Is that a fatal flaw on Caio Borralho's part?
Oh, 100%, Derek, because when I saw it going down, I was like, oh, I'm hoping they're chirping at each other, chirping back, getting the blood rushing so that we're going to see a crazy last minute. But then you're right. They were smiling. They were talking. They even tapped it up a little bit like, good job, buddy. Here's a high five. You don't, I mean, as much as this is a competition, it's also a fight. And like Dana White says, this is the fight business. You need to be a dog in there. And you have all the stuff. You have the X, Y, and Z's. You have the look. You have the ability to perform like that. But then you're playing patty cake together while you're back to front. It's just not a good look, especially if people are wanting to fill seats to see violence going forward.
And I think revisionist history, you look back on this fight and you say, oh, yeah, remember Caio Borralho beat Magomedov? It's a different story when you say, oh, yeah, he broke him, finished him in the third round, choked him out, boom, coming off back-to-back finishes instead of, yeah, he decisioned him. You know what I mean? He outstruck him. It was impressive performance, but it was just a matter of that stamp, that extra stamp of approval of this is the guy you got to watch out for. I don't think that the people are sold, but AJ, I'm extra sold. I'm super sold. Caio Borralho is the man. You know what I mean? This dude is he's legit, bro. So big win for him.